What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It is your girl Survivor Speaks. I'm back with a live video. So we went over the direct examination of Alicia Andrews on yesterday. And I told you I was coming back today because I wanted to get cross-examination by the prosecution. There's a lot of controversy around, surrounding this trial and Alicia's involvement in this crime. So we're going to listen to the cross-examination today. I'm truly bothered by the fact that the prosecution needed to, lie about certain things as it, pertains to the trial. If you had a case, that was solid, you wouldn't need to pull any shenanigans to bolster up your case. But I do understand that they were trying to go for first degree red rum. And after sitting in the trial, I think they realized that wasn't going to fly. That, these jury, getting 12 people to believe their narrative was not going to work. So they added the lessers. And so we all know that the trial already happened. She's already been sentenced. However, I missed her testimony and her cross. So I'm going over that with you guys. And if you're here, hit that like button. What's up for always? Thank you for moderating and popping in. Thank you so much. It means a lot. And so I'm going to roll the intro. The middle finger is not to anyone. It's to cancer. I'm going to roll the intro, and then we're going to come back and jump right into that cross-examination. And just to let you know that this stream is sponsored by Dubby. And thank you so much, Dubby, for allowing me to be a partner. And so here we go. Let's roll the intro, and we'll be right back.
Survivor Speaks is the name at the end of the day. People love me or hate me, I don't care either way. Breast cancer busted through like a leaf in the night. A cancer's ass was knocked out before the end of the fight. A champion coming through, knocking everything out. It's just hard if you see, I do nothing for clout. Just like cancer, I'll let nothing take me out. So be respectful when you step foot inside of my house. Or prepare to have your ass escorted on out. So hop up out the bushes, rub your feet, take a seat, and get comfortable and chill with your girl. Survivor Speaks, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Who, what? I'm Survivor Speaks. What time is it? What time is it? It's time for you to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you get a notification each and every time that I go live. Yeah, it's Survivor Speaks and it's showtime, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Peace, peace, peace.
This video is being shown to you under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Smash that like button. Let's go. This live stream is being sponsored by our partner, Dubby. Dubby is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics. Dubby was formulated for anyone who wants to focus without jitters or a crash. Just mix one rounded scoop with 6 to 8 ounces of cold water and shake. Unlike other energy drinks, W prides themselves on actually developing a clean energy formula that is free from fillers, maltodextrin, and artificial coloring. It comes in a variety of flavors. Go over to www.w.gg, that's www.w.gg, and use my code SurvivorSpeaks to get 10% off of your first order. What are you waiting for? Go over there, check them out, make sure you place your order, use my code, 10% off. See ya. Let me know how it works. What's up? And we are back. So welcome in Katessa. Hope I said your name right. So all opinions are welcomed here. And I'm just you're speaking from a place of being from that area. All I'm saying is, if the prosecution's case, I just basically go over cases and apply the law to it, as best that I can. So the reason why I had an issue with this prosecution is they should have just kept it strictly fact. So by them lying here and there, the little lies, it's hard to even believe anything that they're saying. I do believe, and there was a big consensus in the chat that we do believe. I don't believe that Alicia knew beforehand, but I do believe that once it happened, she very well much knew. So that is accessory after the fact. It does not, equal first degree, which we know she didn't get charged with first degree. But once the prosecution saw that their case wasn't as strong as they made it out to be, because when this first happened, everybody's like, oh, they're all guilty. So they played a role like Alicia, you heard the testimony that she is the one that put the code in the Airbnb, went inside by herself, let the others in the back so that they wouldn't be detected. That was not true. Does not sit well with me. And not only that, they withheld that evidence till a month prior to the trial starting. I know that they had the ring camera from the footage from the homeowner, the Airbnb owner. It's a no-brainer. When you have a ring camera, I'm pretty sure he pays to keep the footage for reasons like this. So I'm pretty sure once they reached out to him, he sent that footage over to them. Now, if they needed to get the footage directly from Ring, still, the owner doesn't have anything to do with this crime. And so the owner, why would the owner falsify that? And when she knocks on the door, you clearly see her walk away and she's standing there. Somebody opens the door on the other side and says, my bad. My thing is, that's something that's small, but they arrested her because of the crime. She was going to get arrested anyway. But they made it a point to say that the reason why, because that detective in the interrogation room said he was 100% sure. He lied about the owner of that Airbnb telling him that Alicia is the one that put in the code. That owner how can the owner tell you that? Because when you have a Ring camera, and even if you have a door lock where you enter codes in, whoever that code is registered to, that's what it's going to show. So I'm sure the owner is not changing the names of the guests that's renting that property when each and every time. So when they put a code in, it's going to say that owner's name and that they just access the lock or whatever. I'm talking from experience because I have both the Ring camera and the lock, and I have it wired to whenever someone puts a code in, it'll say everybody in my house has their own code. Such and such. This just unlock the door. They lock the door. So I'm just saying it is the small nuances that they lied about, which makes it very hard to believe that they're telling the truth about everything. I don't know Alicia from a can of Dutch boy paint. And so she could very well be a pathological liar. But in the end, I don't know what other people are watching. But in the end, while they're showing this interrogation video, some of the same things she said in interrogation was corroborated on the video. But they're lying and telling us that we're not hearing and seeing what we're hearing and seeing. She didn't say she didn't know Gutter. She said she didn't call him that. She called him Zay. And then the detectives, you got to be careful about what you're watching. They're swift with it. They do this for a living. So then the detectives quickly asked her a question right after that. It was about another one of the people that was there. She said she didn't know them. So it sounded like she said she didn't know Gutter, but when she said, no, I don't call him that. She acknowledged that that's her boyfriend. She said all that. She said, I don't call him that. I call him Zay. And then the detective jumped right in and asked her about one of the others. And so she said, I don't know him. So that's all I'm saying. It's just the small nuances that turned me off because they were going for that first-degree murder charge, a red rum charge. And when something didn't fit their narrative, they eliminated it altogether, like them going to the other club. You want us to believe. And so sitting on a jury, I know that they were thinking the same thing. That's why she was found not guilty of first degree and second degree. Because at some point, and when she was on the stand, she came across very credible. Even if she was lying, she came across very credible. But it was just, they didn't need to lie. If you had the case, you had the case. She was there. The way the laws are written in Florida is so jacked up because they really have you pigeonholed into, being guilty. But that's everywhere. If you are a part of a crime, even if you don't know that it's happening or whatever, ignorance of the law is something that they don't even consider. That's the first thing. But the evidence in this case shows she was not there when they were packing that car and all that other stuff. She was home. The detectives admitted that. She came after all of that stuff was done. She was in the Airbnb for the most part up until she got hungry and ordering Pizza Hut and wings was too expensive for her. She was pregnant, so she was hungry. And her boyfriend finally came and took her to McDonald's. That was at the point that she was in the car. But prior to that, her boyfriend and some of the others were already gone. She was in the Airbnb by herself. That's already been proven. And when the detective was on the stand, he was getting agitated because he didn't want to answer those questions because it didn't fit their narrative. So that is what we're saying. I'm going by the law and how the law is applied and how they lie. So, but I'm interested to see the cross-examination since we went through the direct. I missed this portion of the trial and I wanted to watch it with, Survivor Nation. So we can talk about it in a chat. Everybody's opinion is welcomed here as long as it's, respectful in the chat. And as long as it doesn't contain any curse words. And please don't type in all caps. It triggers YouTube and they start to think that it's spam. So I hear you and I do see you, and that's just, it's a shame. Another thing that they did that I have a big problem with. When Julio Foolio was pow in his foot, that case is, they don't have any that case is still open. They don't have any suspects, anything, regardless as to, this crime. For that crime, they have no concrete proof. And see, Alicia may get off on an appeal if she has a great appellate lawyer, attorney, because they should have never mentioned that case in this case. Because the way the prosecutor talked about that case, she talked about the case like she knows that these same people committed that crime. That's a lie. So my only thing is, we all can be in the same predicament where we have a family member that does something, and that, instead of the prosecution in the courts just sticking to the evidence that they have, they want to, charge, so they overcharged her, and they lost in that way. So I just, just keep it simple, stick to the law. Don't add, subtract, and do stuff like that, because then now sitting on a jury, or we are all virtual jurors sitting here, it seems like something is going on. They needed to do this I know why they did it. They needed to beef this up because they wanted her found guilty of first degree red rum. And I'm telling you, I know, I don't even have to be there. They realized once the trial started going, hey, wait a minute. There's reasonable doubt here. Like, wait a minute. We better bring these lessers in, because if not, she's going to walk. And so that's why they added second degree, and then they added the manslaughter charge, and she was found guilty of the manslaughter charge. Now she could be facing up to, I think it's 15 or 20 years. Let's see what happens with that. But I'm on appeal. If the appellate court, because sometimes sometimes they don't even, pay attention to that. But if the appellate court really looks at this case, they can set Alicia free. And the only people that are to blame is the prosecution and their team, the detectives. That would be their fault, because you didn't need to go in and add nothing extra. Just stick to the facts. But no, they needed to add something extra to beef up all this other stuff, and then telling people, civilians don't like when you tell people, oh, don't believe what you see. Believe us, because this is our theory, and this is what happened. People don't like when you are making them seem like they are slow. I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. You want me to just disregard, even though this is evidence that you are presenting, you want me to disregard what I'm seeing and just go on your theory. Do you think I'm dumb? That can always throw a case. Always throw a case. So I believe that she was found guilty of the charge that she should have been found guilty of. Because I do believe, she was an accessory after the fact. I don't believe that she knew. I don't believe they told her the full thing about what was going on before, but I do believe that she knew what was going on after it happened. I believe the boyfriend was going to leave her in the Airbnb and they were going to handle this thing. But she was hungry because she was pregnant, but she knew at some point. And another charge, I'm going to say this again, the charge of failure to report is something that they rarely use for lay people. That charge was created for law enforcement individuals, because whether you're on duty or off duty, if you see a crime happening and you're off duty as a law enforcement agency, you are a mandated reporter. You are supposed to actually try to stop the crime Call it in, call for backup, stop the crime, and report the crime. So if they find out that a police officer was there to witness a crime and didn't do anything about it, left the scene, they found out that the police officer was there after that, they can bring the officer up on charges. I know it sucks, but they can bring the officer up on charges for failure to report. Ask me how I know. I worked in law enforcement 7.5 years. And that is like a statewide thing. Even though laws vary from state to state, that charge is a charge that is worldwide. So that's all I'm saying. They didn't need to do the extra. But they did. All right. I think someone put money on Jones' head. Of course, like if you've been following, so I put a poll up yesterday, and as a matter of fact, let's put the poll up today. And especially y'all here from Florida, I like to hear your thoughts about this, right? In this trial, right, they kept mentioning over and over and over again, Youngin Ace, right? And they keep saying, like he is the mastermind of all of this. So I'm going to pull up a poll. The poll that I put up yesterday, I'm going to put it up again. Because I want to know your thoughts. Do you believe that Youngin Ace should be making arrangements for his incarceration? Because trust and believe me, they were not just throwing his name out there for no reason. Hold on a minute, because they were just not throwing his name out there. He is the big fish. He is the big fish that they really want. And I think that he should be preparing for his incarceration. I believe y'all watched the trial, the Queso trial. And Queso all right, so if you believe that Queso should be preparing for his incarceration, what did I just do? All right, there you go. So I think that Queso should definitely be preparing for his incarceration. Every chance they got. I mean, not Queso, I'm sorry, Youngin Ace. Every chance they got in this case, they kept talking about Youngin Ace. We know that Youngin Ace was the topic of conversation prior to this. The music that they made back and forth, it was crazy. And at the time, Youngin Ace, they all like were rappers, but it's Youngin Ace and Queso. I'm telling you, this song, Who I Smoked, is so daggone diabolical. I said, what in the Katy Perry? She didn't know that she was clearing this sample for this song. I was sitting there like, oh, okay. Did I heard the words? They on a golf course, hats on, they dressed with polo shorts on, looking the part like they play golf. Then the lyrics dropped, and I'm like, they are sitting here playing. They made a whole diss record about the people that they unalive. And Katy Perry just music, who I smoke, little baby. I was like, oh, what? Nah, I said, oh my goodness, these boys are so disrespectful. And that's when I got interested in just looking at some of the things that was going on in Florida, I watched so many interviews and their interrogations. What I am going to say about Julio Foolio, he went on Vlad, and basically, Vlad know everything because you know what they say. He's informed. He's on the cover. Listen, I don't even know why people go over there and interview. Okay, he wants you on there to interview. Just know he about to set it up because people be like, "Wait a minute, how you know that?" Everybody that he interviews that's doing something that you shouldn't do, they got to stop and ask him. But Julio Foolio was very clever in his interview. Like, don't ask me that. I don't know nothing about that. What you talking about? I was never. What? Vlad, stop playing with me. Julio was not having it. And so I just think like it's just so much going on. It's a sad situation for everybody that is involved, to have to witness those things and have to over and over and over be burying family members, grown, parents, because these children are some relation to them. They doing drive-bys and not caring who's in the house. Kids getting pow-powed. Siblings getting pow-powed. This thing goes it goes far. Now, if Alicia did know this from the beginning, which I just don't think so, she's going to get what she can either get it in the sentence or get it from, the Almighty, because karma is a biatch. That's what they say. I just don't think they need to do everything that they did. So, oh yeah, it's too much to type. I believe that one of them boys gonna turn state too. Alicia was harder than them. I can, if you can't give her nothing else, you got to give the sister a round of applause for how she handled the detectives and the prosecutor. And they don't like that. They don't like that. But I don't believe that she was laughing. Her laughing, I do not believe that was her laughing. I believe that was part of, some people when they're nervous, they may laugh. I think that it was a nervous laugh because they were only pointing out the times that she laughed when things were shown and stuff like that. But she was laughing through the whole trial, like fidgeting with her, it's regardless to whether she knew or not. That's nerve-wracking to be sitting there in front of all these people, knowing that you're all over the internet, regardless to whether or not she is all of the things. I think that it was a nervous laugh. So at the end of the day, Davion Murphy is supposed to be defending himself. Child, that is going. I may have to stream that. That is going to be a mess. Like, it's just a lot. It's just Florida is a very special place. It is. Florida is definitely a special place. Like, listen. I might do a rewind on the Markeith Lloyd case. I was obsessed. Oh my goodness. I was obsessed with Markeith Lloyd. That ninja was crazy. So we might do a rewind on that. Because I think the cases that I'm covering, one starts in December, and the Zaya Harris case doesn't start till February of 2026. So I do have another case that I'm covering, about a young. Okay. Hold on. I don't do that. A young man named Jay Lee. That case is supposed to be starting in December. That's not a case from Florida though, but I may do a rewind on the Markeith Lloyd case. What's up, Rockstar? Blame the police when Ramos said they had no probable cause to search her house. Yes, there are so many different things There are so many different things that came out in this trial, which when you have a jury of 12 of your peers and they look at it, it's not going to look well. And not only that, like I said, you cannot make these jurors seem like I'm above you because I am in law enforcement. Even though I'm bringing this evidence in, don't pay attention to it. That's not what you saw. You saw something else. That's not going to sit well with people, because now you're telling me that I can't even do the simple thing of watching something that you're showing me and making a decision from there. It doesn't fit. It does not go well. And then the detective, like, oh no, we 100% know that you put a code into that Airbnb and went in that Airbnb. Okay, well, the video evidence does not show that. That's an issue, because they hammered her in that interrogation room about putting that code in the door and letting the guys in the back door. They hammered her on that one, and it wasn't true. So, and why did you not say anything to a month before this trial started? Talking about that's when you found out. Bull crap. That's what I'm saying. So that's why they lost the first degree. That's why they lost the second degree. They did too much. They did way too much. But I tell you, I'm going to tell you, the strongest person in this case is probably going to be Alicia. Because they tried to make her fold. She's like, nope, that ain't what happened. And when the video evidence corroborates what she says in the interrogation room, I don't know what people are watching. What she said in the interrogation room, the video evidence, some things that was on video, it corroborated the evidence. And the fact that they were saying that, oh, she's the one that dropped the pin about where Julio Foolio was. And that's not what they didn't. Okay. Where did they present that in the trial? Remember, she was supposed to rent the Airbnb. She didn't. One of the Murphys wound up renting the Airbnb. She wasn't there initially when they were packing cars and unpacking cars. So their case against her started to just like crumble. Now, had they tried her with the other 5, if they would have tried them all at one time, she may not have, gotten off with just being guilty of manslaughter. Okay, so that's y'all having a conversation, and people can debate back and forth, because everybody's opinion, like I said, is welcome, as long as it's done respectfully, as long as there's no cursing in my chat and no bullying, though, because healthy debate is always good. I like healthy debates. Like, everybody's not going to think the same way. So, healthy debating is good. Let's just keep it respectful. That's it. So, we're going to listen to this on 1.5, because, listen, we're not going to be here all day, because this prosecutor got on my daggone nerve at some point. But Alicia should teach a master class. The only thing what I think she did wrong, you got the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be held against you in the court of law. You have a right to have an attorney present. If you can't afford one, we'll get you a public pretender. I said public pretender. So she should have said, oh, I don't want to have a conversation. I think I need an attorney, from the door. A lot of courts like to use that. They say that this is what it is. You got a right to remain silent. But a lot of people like to use the fact that the law, and you saying, listen, I'm not saying anything. I need an attorney. They do try and use that against you, and they get away with it. They in court like, oh, she's saying that she's guilty. If she was guilty, all she had to do was tell us what she knew. She decided that, no, I need an attorney and I'm not going to talk to you. which proves that she's guilty, even though the Miranda says different. Listen, I don't think so. I don't think so. He was a special and another thing, like we talked about the DV aspect of it all yesterday. It is highly um disgusting for a prosecutor, and not just a prosecutor. First, I'm gonna say that DV goes both ways. You have men and women that are victims. It doesn't always go one way. Alicia does show signs of a DV victim. You have proof that she was a DV victim. You have proof. And for when you disregard, like totally try to disregard the fact that she was a victim of DV, that definitely doesn't come across well. And I hate to say it, but like mostly to women. So the women that are jurors on the, they may have a big problem with that because we are seeing proof. And even if it wasn't physical, his controlling from the text messages. Tell her she got up and what did she say? He came and said, asked me, got some outfits out, and what do I want to wear? What? What? So he was controlling in a lot of different ways. I remove personal feelings from trials. I look at both sides of everything, both sides of the coin. That is definitely controlling, is definitely a part of DV. And they have proof of that. And it takes a woman about 7 tries before they actually leave. Men don't even report DV. I think it's less than 1% of men that report DV. So she's definitely high serenity siren. Y'all, thank y'all for stopping in. We're going to look at this cross-examination. I didn't see the cross, so I'm here the first time with you all. I'm just going to ask you to please hit the like button. It's a free way to support the show so the video gets pushed out into the algorithm, and y'all can have a healthy debate in the comments. I welcome that as long as it's respectful. So without further ado, let's get to this cross-examination. But I think Alicia can teach a masterclass on standing her ground and like, listen, nope, I'm not, y'all not tripping me. Nope. I don't know nothing. Nope. That's not what happened. And what? And yeah, she came off very confident. She came off, like basically you just not going to put no words in my mouth. Just because she's coming off that way does not make her any less of a DV victim. I'm like, what are they talking about? She doesn't have a mouth but there's a lot of things that she did where she didn't have a voice. She just went with the flow. I mean, I'm just going by the evidence. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. So let's hear this cross-examination because I want to point out because I was in another chat watching this, but I missed this part of it. So, but in the chat, they were saying they were pointing out the lies that the prosecution, was saying. So I just want to watch this because I missed this part. I had something to do and I stepped in after a little after, ways after she testified, missed her testimony. So here we go. Let's go.
Are you all going to want me to instruct the jury before on the elements before closing arguments or after?
Judge, I would like to go forward.
Okay. So I'm going to review these one. Okay, I'm going to review these one more time. I'm going to put them in the order that they're going to be given to the jury. And
hold on, we're not going to do that. Oh, that's the jury just coming back in. All right, let's see.
Correct.
Yes.
You've dated Isaiah Chance.
Hold on, let me just go back just a minute. I want to hear her from the beginning.
Correct.
Yes.
You've dated Isaiah Chance for over 4 years. Isn't that true?
Not over 4 years.
How long?
It's about just 4 years.
Just about 4 years. Okay. And it's been on again, off again. Is that correct?
Yes.
And during that time period, you have dated other young boys. Is that correct?
Maybe.
Does Kamari?
Hold on. Hold on. Hold the hell on. I'm sorry, I paused it right, Grill Soup. How you gonna get mad? Because the defense attorney was referring to the other suspects as boys, but it's okay for you to say you dated young boys over the 4 years. Like she should have said you dated other men. Didn't she make a big deal about that? She did. Okay, let's go.
Outing sound familiar?
Yes.
He's a boy that you had dated, and you still were talking to him, in fact, up until the time of the crime, June of 2024. Is that correct?
We never dated, but yeah, I was talking to him.
Okay. And in fact, at some point, Isaiah Chance got upset and made phone calls to him, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And you had conversations on your phone with Mr. Kamari Outing, where you two discussed that. Isn't that true?
I believe so.
And they were still on your phone. They were backed up. They were saved on your phone, and they were on your phone on June 23rd of 2024. You never deleted these messages that you had with Kamari Outing. Isn't that correct?
I mean, I have to see the message. I don't know. What is that message?
Okay. Your Honor, I'll approach the witness. Looking at those messages help refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Rockstar, I have no clue.
Ms. Anderson, you don't take a look at this.
I think it's text messages. Oh, let me pull this up.
Are you the same one?
Ms. Andrews, you recognize these messages from your phone?
Yes.
And Kamari Outing, he was a member of 1200, isn't that correct?
No.
No? I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 75C12. That's a photo of you with Kamari Outing that was still on your phone. Isn't that true, ma'am?
That's not Kamar.
That's not Kamari?
That's my cousin,
Okay, what's your cousin's name?
Marcus.
Marcus? Okay. And in this messaging with Kamari, he's upset because Isaiah Chance has called him and basically told him that you're with him and that you're pregnant, and you're still trying to get Kamari Outing to talk to you, right?
Objection, hearsay, and relevance. Have a roll.
Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yeah, that's my best friend.
And he doesn't want to because of Isaiah Chance, correct? In fact, you're the one that keeps on insisting that he not block you and that you and him continue to talk. Is that correct?
Yeah, but the message behind that, that's my best friend. And Isaiah called him and was just going on and on about, he didn't want him to, he was giving him a reason to not text me back, to not talk to me. That's what that was about.
And so despite the fact that Isaiah Chance doesn't want you to have anything to do with him, you're fine with disobeying what Isaiah Chance wants because this is your best friend, right?
Yeah, and at the time I sent that, I was at home in my bed. I was not with Isaiah.
But all of these messages are still saved and on your iPhone, right?
I mean, I guess so.
They were, not you guessed. They're on your iPhone, right?
They're my iCloud.
Yes. And so your iCloud backs up your iPhone, ma'am. Isn't that true?
I'm not sure how that works, but I think so.
Okay. You don't recognize these messages? Something that you typed and you received on your little pink iPhone?
I believe so.
Okay. And your phone is also password protected, right?
Yes.
Because certainly when Isaiah Chance is using your phone that night on June 23rd of 2024, at some point when you're walking in that parking lot, your phone locks up, right?
Yes.
And you have to enter in your password.
Yes.
And so that's what happens with an iPhone. After your iPhone is not being activated over a lengthy period of time, a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, it does what?
It locks.
And so what do you have to do every time that happens?
Unlock it.
And obviously Isaiah Chance didn't know your password because you're standing there right next to him, and what does he have to do?
He asked for the password that first time, but he's looking at me.
And I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 30.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be palsy, intent, but what this prosecutor is saying is that if you are a victim of DV, you wouldn't talk to anybody else. That's false. That's an outlet. It could be some type of an outlet, depending on how you look at it. I have a big problem with her trying to, and I understand that she's trying to prove that Alicia is not scared of Chance. But hopefully, we already know the outcome, but some of the jurors may be, upset with this because we also saw the pictures of her face. And so it's not like this crime at that time was already committed. This is something that was found in her phone. And so she said, and people can't say that she's lying, that she sent the message to her friend because she was tired of it and like asking what should she do. She should have told her parents, because from the testimony, I get that her parents would have been in support of getting her out of the situation that she was in. So she hid all of this from her parents. I just don't like the fact that this prosecutor is taking this time to basically what she's saying is you can't possibly be a DV victim because you was talking to somebody else, right? that's not going to go over well. That's why I didn't get the first or second degree. I'm just pointing out what the real is. God dog it. I'm like, did she just say that? Child, this is a mess.
Or, you know who this is, right? Charles Jones.
Yes.
You have known who he was since 2021 when you were at Rains High School, right?
I knew of him, yes.
You were well aware of him, right? This is something that you discussed a lot with your friend Jewel Jordan.
I only discussed him maybe 2 times.
At the time when you were doing that, did you date somebody by the nickname K Shorty?
We weren't dating.
You didn't date him either, right?
No.
You weren't upset talking about Jewel Jordan and Julio Foolio, Charles Jones recruiting all these young men that were getting shot up in this gang war?
I wouldn't say upset. I was just gossiping.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But this is State 75C13. This is a photograph with you and K Shorty.
Yes, that's Therese.
Okay. And do you see what he's doing there?
Yeah.
He's throwing up like 12?
I don't know what the sign means. I
Have
mean,
no idea what that means. But you're posting this on TikTok, right? You love TikTok. You've talked about,
Yeah.
right? You posted on TikTok. You're both posing together.
yes, ma'am.
And despite the fact that you intimately know a lot of people who are associated with these gangs, you have no idea what it means when he's throwing up that sign.
No, I don't.
No idea whatsoever.
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled, go ahead.
Oh no. This judge was so biased. That's another reason why they might overturn this on
Charles
appeal.
Jones on Instagram,
This
isn't that
judge has
correct?
Numerous
Maybe back then.
mistakes.
Did you ever unfollow him?
Probably.
You were still following him when this crime occurred, right, on Instagram?
I don't remember following him.
You don't remember? You never looked and you never saw any of these advertisements that Julio Foolio was going to be in Tampa on June 22nd?
No, I never seen those.
You did not like Julio Foolio back in 2021. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I mean, I wouldn't say a personal issue. When you say like him, didn't like him.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 75C2, conversation that you had with Jewel Jordan. So I want you to read what you texted to her back on January 19th of 2021.
I said, but if you think about it, everybody dissing everybody. People from out east diss they side, so of course they gonna say something, but it don't even be popular like that, like that for real. Fully be the one talking shit, then all his little niggas come, then other extra people.
Okay. So you are talking about out east, correct? That is a territory of 1,200.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're talking about how the people in 1,200 dish they side, correct? And then you're also talking about Papa, that's Little Papa, right?
Yes.
And who's Little Papa?
He's a rapper.
And you know that he also has a gang affiliation, is that correct?
I mean, he doesn't claim it, so I don't know.
Okay. You know your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, is in a gang, isn't that true?
I don't know that.
That's something you've told your best friend since you were little, Jewel Jordan, that you knew that he was in a gang and that he was in it.
I never told her that.
You never
I said
said
I've heard allegations of it. But when I asked him, he denies it, so of course I took his word.
In this particular conversation, you then say, again, talking about Foolio, let's go down here. I want you to tell the jury what then you texted in response to Jewel Jordan saying that they keep killing each other. And we're talking about the gang war in Jacksonville, right? 1,200 against 6 Block. ATK against 6 Block, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's see, what did you text her?
I said right, so it's gonna go
And
on
I'm
and
sorry,
on.
Miss Andrews, if you don't mind, you speak very quickly, so if you could just speak slowly, because I'm seated next to you and I'm having trouble hearing you, so
Okay.
thank you very much.
I said right, so it's gonna go on and on, and they keep saying let leak rest, but I'm sure the other side be feeling like that, so it's gonna keep repeating, and yeah, they know what come with it, so charge it to the gang. Go retaliate or something. They sitting up there rapping, but that's y'all homeboy. Just do what y'all have to do. They don't be in Jacksonville, so I doubt they care about anybody here or the upcoming rappers.
So Leaky is another person that has died in this gang war, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're well aware of that, correct?
Yes, ma'am. He went to middle school with me.
So you have somebody who went to middle school that died in this gang war, and you had somebody who went to Rains High School that died in this gang war. Is that correct?
Yeah, I heard of it, but I'm not friends with him.
Well, you're not. You say you're not friends with Spaz, right? Joe Rod Adams, correct?
Yeah, I'm not friends with him.
But he was.
So, Katessa, now, this is the one thing that I will agree with Alicia on. I don't think, if she says that she knows that somebody is in a gang, she could be opening up a whole can of worms for other people. She can be retaliated against, all that. So the young man that testified, that's incarcerated, that is in, is a known, gang member, even he would not say somebody was in a gang. He said they were a group, and that the name of that gang was the apartment building. So I just think it is a way that they know, okay, so you went in there and said that we are part of it. It makes sense for her to say no. I'm just saying, it makes sense for her if you think about, gang life. It makes sense for her to no. I don't know anything about them being, in a gang. If not, she could be, even in a woman's prison, she could get jacked up over that. I worked in the prison system 7.5 years as a correction officer. So it definitely makes sense for her to say, no, I don't know. Even though we all know she knows. Her on the stand, if I was on the stand, I was asked that, I would have said the same thing. Because it's the reason why she's saying that. And trust me, the women are just as bad as, the men are when it comes to, gangs and, being affiliated with it and all this other stuff. You see how you see the backlash Gutter was getting, and they asked him a question and he just said yes. And, backlash all over the place. And even though he's still successful right now, a lot of times people don't come off, they cancel people for less. So I get it, with her up there saying, no, it's not, I don't know, as it relates to that. Because, it's a lot to come with that. Oh, you told on us, people going to automatically say, oh, you got up there and you snitched? Oh, you told them the X, Y, and Z? So, yeah, she has to act like she doesn't know, even if she does. So that's the one thing that I said. But that I agree with. But I don't like the way this prosecutor is trying to put her in harm's way, I believe, by some of these questions that she's asking. So just
Wasn't the only one that got shot in that Rains High School shooting, was he?
I mean, I think so.
Will also got shot in that high school shooting. Will Go Crazy, the person who you communicate with on your phone, right? You know who Will is.
I wouldn't say like that.
Oh,
He
no,
texts
I-
me
yeah,
and he
that's
tries to
fine.
talk to me like I'm cute. People are going to start talking to me like that.
He's who Jewel Jordan was talking about when she said that you two had a friend that was injured
Puerto Rico?
at the shooting at Rains High School, correct?
Yeah, when she says friend, she means associate.
So I didn't ask you that, but what her
Young and
wording
Amy.
up there was friends,
answer the
right?
question. Young and age?
Yes.
And
Should
he
we
got
repeat
shot in the
the
arm.
question?
His name is Will Royal. He went to high school with you at Rains High School, right?
I believe so.
You believe so or you know so?
I don't remember his last name being Royal, so that's why I said I believe so.
Okay, let's not call him Will Royal. Let's call him Will, who got shot in the left arm the same day that Spaz, Joe Rod Adams, got killed at Rains High School when you were attending there.
Yes.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes, Will.
So what are you texting your friend Jewel Jordan on 1/21 of 2021?
You want me to read it?
Yes, ma'am.
I said it was deleted about time I got up.
That's true.
But Fulio had said it'd be everybody. It'd be.
We on the same page about
Oh,
that.
Fulio had said it, but everybody kind of
I
knew
know
that.
that
It was
young
just
man was coming.
once that time he got shot, and I forgot the boy that died with him at the Reigns game. But the boy Robert ain't even do that, even though he on the 6th side. It was Bibby, and Will knew that, but Bibby died like 3 weeks later, so that was crazy.
Okay. And so who we're talking about right now, that you claim not to know his last name, is the very person you are texting Jewel Jordan about, right, Will?
Yes, ma'am.
So you knew him well enough to be texting to your friend, Jewel Jordan, after the high school shooting at Rains, correct?
Yes, he was known.
Yeah,
And the other person that you are mentioning in the same sentence is Robert. You're referring to Robert Howard, the person who actually went to prison for manslaughter for that shooting, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're also mentioning Bibby, is that correct?
Yes.
Bibby is a nickname. It is a gang nickname, isn't it, Miss Andrews?
I didn't know his real name. I'm just referring to him as Bibby.
Okay. Because Bibby is the way that the people who you hang out with refer to him, right?
No, the people on the internet refer to him as Bibby.
That's right. And that's how they know him, by his
Yes.
gang name.
I mean, I wouldn't know if it's his gay name.
no, she trying to get her like she like no.
Do you think Bibby is his legal name?
I don't know him personally to know. So
And then Jewel Jordan responds,
Prosecutor
OMG,
is trying so
LMFA,
hard.
what does that mean?
laughing my fucking ass off.
Everybody kind of knew. They all had comments to calling. You guys are also watching what is going on social media between these warring rival gangs, aren't you?
Yeah, that day we're actually referring to a post, so we're reading the comments, but instead of putting it in the comments, we're texting it to each other.
Now I want you to read to the jury what you texted your friend Jewel Jordan on January 21st of 2021.
I said, girl, I don't like Fulio. Laugh my fucking ass off. Ugly ass bitch. He need to die. And shit, that was Will friend. Fuck the cold shit. Then I said, bitch, he shot me and my friend died. Yeah, I'm pointing out who did it.
And so you don't like Julio Foolio. That's fair to say. Back in 2021, you didn't like him.
Yeah, that was my opinion when I was 17 years old.
And your exact words were,
Oh,
he
get
needs to
up.
die, correct?
Yeah, but I didn't mean it. Literally, I'm 17 just gossiping.
Okay. But you really are talking about your friend Will, and you're saying, fuck that code shit. If he shot me and my friend died, you're referring to Will and his friend Spaz that died.
Yeah, I was saying he knew probably who killed his friend. He should have spoke up. I'm saying if it's my friend, I'm going to tell who did it.
So you were upset that 6 Block, and you believe 6 Block and Julio Foolio's group were responsible for your friend getting shot, correct?
I mean, that was what was on the internet, and I wasn't upset. I mean, I'm just gossiping. I really don't care, honestly.
And then you emphasized it, right?
No, she emphasized
She
it.
emphasized it.
Yeah, that was funny. She did. She did.
Then I want you to go down here and say what you said, 1/22 of 2021.
I said, bitch, hold on, because I think Julio talking about Therese and his friends left my ass up. I do not like him.
Okay. And tell us again who Therese is.
Therese is the person I'm in a picture with.
And then what did you say?
I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together. I was reading the comments.
And then what did you say here?
No, that's her talking.
Oh,
At
I'm
the
sorry.
top.
What did Jewel Jordan say in response?
She said, that is Julio, though. He recruit a bunch of dumbass niggas who willing to die.
And then what was your response to that?
I said, right, and he started to realize. But first time I saw him, that shit clicked on. When Julio called, we all in the garage, he talking about, nigga always want me to ride with him when he down here, so I could be the one that died, not him. I ain't nobody guard. I said, bitch, I was dying.
And what do you mean when you texted that?
I was in the garage with Tyrese one day, like just chilling, and one of his, I think that was his cousin or somebody older, and he gets a call from Julio, and he, I think, asked him to ride somewhere, and he tells the friend, like, at the phone, he goes, he said, I'm not riding nowhere with him. I'm not finna die. And I just sent it to my friend. I'm like, well, I'm over here laughing about it.
Yeah, they trying to taking that was.
And you said Isaiah Chance,
we
you
say
did not
it all
know he
over.
was in a gang. Is that correct?
That,
I mean, I heard people say it,
laughing.
but when I asked him, he says he's not.
You also were aware of what happened at the town center. Is that correct?
Yes, it was on the news.
Tell us what happened at the town center.
Some people died in a car leaving Wasabi.
Okay. Young and Ace, correct?
He didn't die, but he got shot.
Young and Ace's group, is that correct? They were in that car.
His cousin and brother, I believe.
And he was the only one that survived, correct?
Yes.
His brother was killed.
I think that was his brother,
Public
yeah.
knowledge.
Person named 23,
Yeah.
Royal Smith, was
Yeah.
killed.
Yes, ma'am.
And Isaiah Chance, he was upset about that, wasn't he?
I mean, I don't know if he's upset.
She's acting like Alicia has, this is inside information that Alicia knows. This is public information. I'm not from Florida. And like I said, I was intrigued when I first started, looking into, I don't know the different size and all that to it, but I started looking into it, because of the music they was putting out. I was like, but this music is disrespectful. And so it is all over the internet. All you got to do is put in Young and Ace, or put in Julio Foolio, or put in the name of a song of it's a title to one of their songs, or watch a video on YouTube, and all of this stuff will just start popping up as suggestions for you to see. But she is in a court of law where maybe these 12 people don't know that this stuff is public knowledge and not personal knowledge. And this is what the prosecution is trying to get this jury to believe, that all this information that she's talking about is personal. And she has inside information when it's definitely public. There's documentaries that have been done on these different, gangs in Florida, and they will take you from point A to point B, listing everybody that was unalived, when they were unalived. This gang did this, and this person was unalived. These people retaliated, and this person was unalived. And then you have Julio Foolio and everybody else that's a part of these two different gangs. They're also, every time somebody gets pow, they make a song or they go live. So it's not like she has any personal knowledge and information. She could definitely just be conversating like as gossip, but this prosecutor is trying to make it seem like she has personal, intimate knowledge, and that's not the case. It's public knowledge, it's everywhere.
But he would say, like, he's heard about it sometimes.
That is something,
Yeah.
moment that he has shared with you intimately about what happened at the town center. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I mean, I already knew what happened, but he's explaining to me, like, he don't like to go out there.
Correct, because 23 died at the town center.
Yeah, he believes there's violence out there. He don't want to go out there.
And he was upset about it, right?
I mean, I guess so.
You had a conversation. You don't remember the conversation you had with him on your phone where you wanted to go do something at the town center?
Yeah, I believe I showed him a restaurant I wanted to go to.
That's you here, right? You want to go one day, question mark?
I think, is that him?
Oh, that's him, you're right.
That's him.
That's one of his old phone numbers, 904-575-7534.
Yes, that's his old number.
And he's like, you want to go one day? And you said, yeah, it's in the town center.
Yes.
Yeah, but they
And
tried
then what was your response?
I sent him a TikTok. I was responding to the TikTok saying, laugh my ass off, bro.
And then what was his response?
He said, I hate it here. I hate it there.
Why would he hate it there?
I guess he's traumatized about it. Somebody you know died out there. You don't want to go out there.
And his next response to you?
He says, I don't like the town center.
And then what did you say?
I said, you hate everywhere. We don't got to sit in.
And then what did he respond to you?
He's telling me 23 got killed in the town center. That's why I don't like it out there.
And then what was his next
He said, I
response?
don't like thinking about it for real. So when I do switch moves, like an MF.
And what was your response to this texting conversation?
I said, well, we don't have to go there if it's gonna bother you. I forgot about it. It's some other places we both ain't tried yet.
So this is a conversation that you have had more than once with Isaiah Chance. Isn't that true?
I think that's is it the one time?
She said she forgot
You said
about
you
don't
forgot
know.
about it, right?
No, I'm saying I forgot that it happened in the town center because I've seen it on the
Yeah,
news.
that's what I
You
got.
knew who 23 was, right?
So he referred to 23. Yes, I knew of the person.
Knew that 23 is associated with Young and Ace. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, I knew that.
He has confided in you about more than one death that occurred in this gang war. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I don't know of more than one. Which one you referring to?
Oh, they ain't like Alicia.
You know,
Really
Antonio Tilley died
Yeah.
between October 6th and October 7th of 2023.
Yes, he told me his friend died.
He was traumatized by that, correct?
I mean, I wasn't around him to know if he's traumatized, but he
Didn't you-
said he was sad, yeah.
Didn't you have a texting conversation with him October 7th of 2023 when he said that he was traumatized and that he was mentally not well, not right in the head?
I think I remember that conversation. I asked if he wanted me to be around him for,
He needed
just
some space,
more
right?
support. Yeah, but he didn't want me to come.
And you remember that conversation. He didn't want you around because he was not in the right headspace the day after his friend Tilly died, correct?
Yeah, I remember. I mean, who would be in the right headspace after their friend died?
And so much so that you agreed not to go see him, right?
Yeah, if he don't want me there, I'm not going to go.
And you were worried about him, right?
Yeah, but I know if he doesn't want me there, I'm not going to just go.
And that was October 6th and 7th of 2023. Are you aware that Charles Jones, his life, there was an attempt on his life that occurred on October 7th of 2023, the day after his good friend Tilly was killed?
I've heard about it.
You heard about it from Charles Jones, right?
Yeah, I believe he went live or something.
Yeah, and in fact, not only did you hear about it from Charles Jones, you had conversations on your phone about it, and you assured him you would delete it, right?
Delete what?
Delete. I'm sorry. You had conversations with your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, about it, and you deleted the conversations, didn't you?
About what?
About what he had done.
He never told me he did anything. I don't remember.
Well, then let me ask you, with looking at your messages with him on October 7th of 2023, refresh your recollection?
Really is her boyfriend's best friend. Yeah. Be safe out there.
see that conversation?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been in this trial, correct?
Yes.
You heard that the shell casings that was taken off of your boyfriend's best friend's Toyota 4Runner, that the ballistics matched the casings that were used to shoot at Julio Foolio, Charles Jones, on October of 2023, right?
Yes.
It's been tied to that ballistically, right?
Yeah, I've heard it.
Welcome
And
in.
and it occurred the day after Tilly was killed.
Yes.
And he was torn up, and you guys had conversations about it. You and your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, had conversations about that. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yeah, he's telling me he's not himself right now. He needs space. He never told me he did anything.
So yeah, they are allowed to lie a little bit in an interrogation to try to get the truth. But once they step on the stand, they cannot lie under oath. And basically they try to use lying as a scare tactic in an interrogation room. That's why it's never a good idea to agree to talk to anybody when without an attorney. Just don't say anything, because you could be telling the truth. And even in Alicia's case, she told them, I didn't put no code in the door. I didn't. I knocked on the door. Somebody let me in. And y'all see how they came after her like a pit bull, trying to get her to change her story, telling her over and over and over again, you are the one that put the code in the door, and then you let the others in the back door. And because there is evidence that that was not true, they had to change the story. So, but when they get on the stand, they are not allowed to lie. So you saw the lead detective, when he didn't want to answer questions, he would be like, oh, I can't answer that. I don't have this stuff in front of me. I can't answer that. You lying. You know how big that pink bag was, and you know that, a rifle couldn't fit in that pink bag. You don't have to be a law enforcement officer to see that, to be able to tell that.
Anything.
Hold on, I'm bad.
Then what is it that you're referring to after he tells you to stay loyal, right? He tells you that. He texts that to you after he said he needed some time on October 8th, now that we're talking, the day after Charles Jones, where they tried to take his life, right?
I mean,
he says to you, don't go run off normally, what you normally do, be loyal, stay loyal. That's what he said to you, right?
yes, and you're misinterpreting what he's saying. When he says stay loyal, he means don't go cheat. Because, I talk to who I want to talk to at times. When he's not paying me no attention, I feel like you ignore me, you're doing what you want to do, I'm going to go talk to other people. So that's why he's telling me, stay loyal, don't do what you normally do.
So when he's devastated because his friend died, and then he and his friend tried to kill their rival, what he's worried about is you staying loyal to him?
I guess so.
Okay. And so what are you referring to when you say
Prosecutor's fighting for her life? Dang it, Alicia. The prosecutor's fighting for her life. Alicia is giving her the business. Woo, child. Alicia.
in direct response to that,
Wow.
you're saying, it's fine, you're all right now, it's somebody close to you, not a random person, so I mean it's normal to feel how you feel. I'm not bae, we're straight, we're just together, we're good. I deleted what you said, and I'm not texting nobody, even if you don't want to talk about it at the moment. So what exactly are you referring to that you deleted?
He told me to delete a message with somebody texting me. It was a different guy.
So again, he's worried about you cheating. He didn't make any sort of confessions and confide in you as to what happened on October 7th?
No, he didn't.
Overruled.
And so when you are with law enforcement and they are interviewing you and they bring up Charles Jones, Julio Foolio, and they specifically talk about this beef, you lie to them and act like you don't know nothing about that, right?
Yeah, he asked me if I had knowledge, like if I had, like I knew exactly who did what. I know I don't have no direct knowledge. I know what's on the internet, but I didn't assume that's what he was asking me, so I said no.
You know nothing about Julio, the big rapper, right?
I said I know what's on the internet. I don't know personally if it's true, who did what.
You know more than what is on the internet. Isn't that true, miss?
No, I actually don't.
You have just read to the jury about different deaths.
That's on the internet in our city. I don't know if it would be in Tampa, but Jacksonville is on the internet.
And also a person you know that's been shot, Will.
Yeah, I went to school with him, so I know.
Okay, so that's not just on the internet. That's something that you lived through, right?
I didn't live through it. I mean, that's his situation. I just know about it.
And you're dating Isaiah Chance Gutta, right?
Dating him when at that time?
And you know that his best friend, 23, has been killed.
I mean, okay, that's his friend. That's not my friend.
Okay, but you're aware of it, right?
Yeah, I'm aware.
And you know that Tilly has been killed.
Yes, that's his friend. That's not my friend.
But again, you are aware of it, right?
Yeah, it's on the internet.
Overruled.
And you know that Bibby has been killed.
They are
Yes,
sparring.
just like everybody else knows.
And you yourself know about it.
Yes, it's on the internet.
And law enforcement are informing you that they are asking you about the death of Charles Jones.
She said it's
Tampa,
on
right?
the internet.
Yes.
And they are talking to you and they are mentioning that they know the beef between these two groups, right?
It's on the
Yes.
internet.
And your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, is connected to
yes.
many of the people who have died in this rival gang war.
Yeah, he's connected, not me. So,
But you know about it.
yes, I know.
And you lied to law enforcement and withheld all of that information knowing that they are investigating another death in this rival gang war, right?
I mean, in the beginning, they told me to talk about what I want to talk about. I don't have to talk about what I don't want to talk about. And I didn't want to be in the middle of that. I don't know for sure of any of these deaths for real. I looked on the internet. I don't know, so I didn't answer it.
They read you your Miranda rights, right? They told you that before they read you your Miranda rights, right?
I don't know if it was before or not.
You didn't just watch this video?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was before, though.
They read you your Miranda rights and told you you had the right to remain silent, that you were in the driver's seat, right?
Yes.
They also informed you you could have an attorney present with you if you wanted to, right?
Yes.
And you chose to speak with them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what I was there for, so I didn't have a problem speaking to them.
You didn't know what you were there for? They told you multiple times that you were there for the murder investigation of Charles Jones, right?
I'm saying as soon as it started, when I got arrested from my house, they said I had a warrant for resisting arrest. So that's what I was assuming I was going to jail for. I later ended up in a room with two guys. So I did sit there and talk.
Who told you what you were being questioned about?
Yeah, and I had no issue. I can answer the question.
And then multiple times in that interview, they were trying to impart to you the seriousness of what you were being questioned about.
Yes.
You would agree with that statement. Multiple times they tried to reach you and let you know how serious these charges were.
For her life.
Yes.
Damn.
And they asked you for details about who was involved. And they started showing you evidence.
She's not
Yeah, I
crying,
did.
girl.
And in that moment, you chose to protect your boyfriend. Isn't that true?
I wouldn't say I protected him. I literally pointed him out, so that's not protecting him.
You never said that he was involved with a homicide, did you?
I didn't know if he's involved in it, so why would I tell them that?
Yeah,
You never said who or gave descriptions. If you truly believed he had nothing to do with this homicide, then why wouldn't you just share information and tell them and give them descriptions, even if you didn't know their name,
Why would
what
she?
they look like,
Come on
and
now.
where they came from?
I mean, Again, I didn't know for sure, so I didn't answer that. And I'm not about to do that job for them, put my life on the line, to be in the middle of that, so I didn't answer it. I answered everything pertaining to me. Anything about them, I didn't answer.
You didn't seem like you were afraid in that interview. Were you afraid in the interview or not?
I was, but I handled myself well.
Oh,
You weren't afraid of Isaiah Chance?
No, he's not even in there, so why would I be?
So, well, then I don't understand. Were you afraid to give up their names because you're afraid of them? You're afraid of Isaiah Chance and Davian Murphy and Rashad Murphy? Or are you protecting them in that interview?
we know that she was in the
I
car
want to say I don't need
at the
that.
time. But if you look at the evidence in context, you got to look at the whole the evidence in context. You just can't isolate the fact that she was in the car, because she was in the Airbnb. She was hungry. They were out. She was in the Airbnb, hungry. He came and got her to take her to get something to eat. He just never took her back to the Airbnb. He started doing what he's doing. So a jury is going to look at it in context and just not isolate that one fact that she was in the car, because all of the evidence and the context leading up to that shows that she wasn't with them. So again, I don't look at, I don't know Alicia. I don't have no skin in the game when it comes to her. The other side, nobody in this case. But when somebody looks at something, they look at it in context. Take, for instance, Drake tried to sue his record label. This is just an example, over the song Not Like Us. And because he was called a PDF in that song, he decides, because he lost a rap battle, he decides he's going to take them to court. If you read the dismissal, his attorneys was asking the judge to just look at the song Not Like Us in isolation. She said no. This was a whole rap beef. And he said in the lyrics of Tailor Made, he kept poking Kendrick, telling him to drop. And when you drop, make sure you say that I like young girls. Because make sure you say that. And so Kendrick said it. But now Drake's attorneys tried to get the judge to not look at the full beef and isolate Not Like Us. And so the reason why it was tossed out is because you were poking the bear. You asked this question. You told him to call you basically a PDF. And when he does it, you want to be Tupac and Sue. They can't just look at that. I hope that helps. They just can't look at that in isolation. They're going to look at everything in context. She was home. She was hungry. She's pregnant. He came and got her. So yeah, she's in the car because he never took her back. Not to say that he had to drop her off, but if I'm sitting on a jury, I'm looking at all of that. I'm not just going to look at that isolated point, because they were already out trying to find him prior to her getting in the car. And the way the prosecution and the detectives tried to frame this story, they tried to say like, oh, Alicia was the one that was actively going around and looking for Julio Foolio. Oh, she's the one that dropped the pin to show where he was. That was not proven in this case, and they never even tried to bring that out on the stand. But when you look at everything in context and what they had the public believing, now the prosecution clearly was lying. We're looking at the evidence. People, you cannot go by what you heard in there because you're from Florida. When you look at the evidence, because that's what the jury is looking at, the evidence that the prosecution is presenting in this case. And Alicia was not with them while they were packing and unpacking those cars. She was not with them when they were initially out looking for Julio Foolio. So in a court of law, that street law does not count. This is in the court of law. So yeah, they can't just take that into consideration, that one thing. They got to look at everything in its context, put it all together. And this is why they looking foolish. And this is why she up here fighting. She's up here for her life. She's trying to break Alicia, and she can't. I don't know how many years experience she got, but this young girl is giving her the business. And so when I say I'm loving it, I just like true crime. I like debates. I love this type of stuff. And the fact that she is giving her a run for her money is exciting to me. So I don't know any of these people, not one way or another. I'm just impressed about how this girl's giving her the business. When she get out, she should give a master class on how to handle yourself on the stand. That's all I'm saying. She's giving Alicia is going to haunt this prosecutor for a long time. And if you notice, listen to the prosecutor when she asks her a question and Alicia doesn't answer the way she wants her to answer. She immediately skips to another question. Then she starts rapidly asking her questions. So like not even really, and the judge should have stopped that. You're not even really giving her a chance to answer. So you're asking a question and anticipating the rest of the answer that she gives you so you could go to the next question. And then even in some cases, if you listen to her, she's trying to ask Alicia a question and saying that Alicia is agreeing with her, and she's definitely not. It's just that she's asking these questions in rapid succession, and the judge is not stopping her. This judge is biased, and I can't believe that because I watched the Ronnie O'Neal trial, and she liked Ronnie O'Neal. So yeah, but in this case, Alicia didn't get a fair trial. Regardless of how anybody feels about it, she didn't get a fair trial. And on appeal, I believe that her conviction will be overturned. The judge did a lot of shady stuff in this case. She didn't allow a lot of evidence in this case. She didn't even allow, she kept overruling, she overruled mostly all of the defense's objections. And then not to mention, they went through that whole big thing about nobody being able to get on the stand and say that Chance was abusive to Alicia and what her state of mind was on that day. And her attorney was saying, we're not trying to go to a state of mind. We just want to I want to be able to ask, about him being violent toward Alicia. Oh, no, she can't. So when Alicia gets on the stand and now they start questioning her, the prosecution about that on direct, the prosecution then again objects. You said you needed her to get on the stand to say this, and then you object. And the judge is just like sustained. Like she's very biased. And on appeal, I am about 90% sure on appeal that this case gets thrown out. And the prosecutors, the detectives, and this judge is going to be the only people to blame, because the judge is supposed to be unbiased. She's supposed to be refereeing. This is what they call it, this trial. She's not being biased. She's pro-prosecution, and she's not hiding it.
And it's about a gang. I'm a female. I don't want to be in the middle of it, so I didn't answer it. And I don't know for sure if they did anything at the time of that, so I didn't say anything.
She did.
Then why are you up here testifying about how Isaiah Chance hit you?
Because, that leads up to why I act the way I act out of town.
You were afraid of him or not? Are you afraid of him? Does he beat you? And are you afraid to stand up to him?
I think he messed up
Yes, at times.
And I think you said in your direct examination that people can't really understand because they don't know when you cannot leave. Is that what you said? Something to that
I
effect?
said people wouldn't understand a domestic violence relationship because you'll think why don't you leave? Why don't you walk away? It's not that easy unless you're in it.
And that's true.
But that's not exactly true, is it?
Yes, it
It is
is.
true.
You say cannot leave. You did not live with him, did you?
No, I didn't.
You never lived with Isaiah Chance.
No, I didn't. But he knew where I stayed. He would pop up at my house, ring the doorbell all times of night. So I couldn't go nowhere. So
He never had financial control over you. He never paid your rent, did he?
I don't pay rent, so no.
You live with your parents.
Yes.
You live with two loving parents in a safe home. Isn't that true, Miss Andrews?
Yes, I do.
And you never mentioned to your mother or your father that Isaiah Chance was hitting you or abusing you ever, did you?
I did.
You never reported it to police?
No, she asked me, but I didn't want to cause any problems with him or his family, so I left it alone.
So you had choices, didn't you?
That was the very last time, so I told them.
Are you afraid of him and do things because you are fearful of him? Is that what you testified to on direct?
Yes.
So fearful of him that you have to do everything he says. Is that correct?
At times, yes.
Exactly.
And you are claiming to this jury that you're not in a relationship with him anymore. Is that true, ma'am?
I'm not. I said he may think that because I never broke up with him, but I'm
You
not.
think that he
That's
thinks
exactly
that
what you
because
said.
you still talk to him even though he is locked in jail, right?
Yes, I do still talk to him, and that's because of my issue. I don't want to cause any safety issues in this jail. He sends me verbal messages and where I'm at, so, I just keep him at ease. There's nowhere for me to go.
What safety issues? He is locked up for first-degree murder charges and cannot get to you. Isn't that true, ma'am?
You do know his ways in a jail. You can send messages to people. People look at me sideways. Oh, that's your boyfriend? He said this. He told me to tell you this. It's safety issues. Literally before I came to trial, a deputy told me one of my co-defendants were trying to have me jumped. So I just do what I have to do.
You are also safely in jail. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I
No,
want to say
you're not.
safely.
That's
you
a
can get in a
lie.
fight at any time.
Okay.
That's
There are
a
all
lie.
kinds of deputies. Is that correct?
Yes, all of them don't do their job also. So
And we're not talking about your safety from other people. We're specifically talking about your safety from Isaiah Chance, someone you claim to be so afraid of that you will go along and do anything for him, right?
I wouldn't do anything for him, but
You wouldn't go along with a murder plot for him?
no, he never told me anything about a murder plot.
And you wouldn't try to call him multiple times incorrectly from the jail, right?
What do you mean incorrectly?
You're not allowed to phone another inmate, can you?
I don't call him like that, so what do you mean?
You're right, you don't call him like that. You have to break policy of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and do some kind of three-way call involving Isaiah Chance's mother. Isn't that true?
Nothing.
Yeah, we do that.
You do it all the time, right?
Yes, when he asks for me, I do it.
That don't
As
mean
for
nothing.
you have to initiate your own phone call. He can't call you in the jail.
That means nothing. What Alicia is saying is 100% true. I was a correction officer for 7.5 years. Started in the county, went to the state. I worked with men and women. If an inmate wants to get to you, they will get to you. He may not get to her personally because he doesn't have access to her, but he has access to other inmates. They do all types of stuff. Let me tell you something. I always said that a lot of people that are incarcerated, they have talents. They are actually running whole businesses behind that wall. If they would have put that to use when they were on the street, they would probably be rich. Let me tell you something. There's many days that I stepped in, having, to call cold blues and, stop people from pummeling on other people based on them doing something for somebody that they were paid something in commissary or something like that, or somebody from the outside is putting money on their books. It's no cakewalk when you're behind that wall and in jail, and it don't make a difference how they have you in PC. That means absolutely nothing. If an inmate wants to get to you, they will get to you. Jeffrey Dahmer died in PC. Like, so it's just something like to, put it at ease, and they're supposed to have like things put in place for people that are in protective custody. Nobody should be out. When this person is out, but they trust trustees to actually be around these people and to give them their trays and to, come and give them new uniforms or uniform change day. You as a correction officer don't have any clue as to whether or not that trustee is just gonna go psycho or is paid to come there and harm her. So it's a juggling act. You just never know. Never know. What she is saying is 100% correct, regardless to whether this prosecutor want to believe it or not. She's a prosecutor. She's not locked behind that wall with these inmates. She's not a correction officer. Let me tell you something. I did 7.5 years of hard time. Only difference was I got to go home and not stay there. But once I was in jail, I was doing time right along with these inmates. And when somebody want to do something, they're going to do something to you. I had an inmate wait till my partner went to lunch and I was in a pod by myself. Oh, yeah, he cracked the mop handle over his knee because he was mad because he had did his time in our jail, but he was being held to be picked up and going to another jail. So he thought he was going to come at me with the mop. I guess he was going to hit me over the head and stuff and all. I don't know what he thought, but the trustees is like your second. Trustees love the officers that they work for and with. And so, yeah, it was bad timing for him all the way around because the trustee, they took him out. And then the floor that I was on the officer's gym happened to be on the floor on that day. And so, and they work officers work out at lunchtime. So they all running in there because they hear the code. But yeah, this inmate, he was about to whack me. He broke the whole mop hand, but like crack, and right at the same time. If you in PC actually means absolutely nothing. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm telling you, I lived it. I know what it is. I've been in many of scuffles, breaking up scuffles, all types of stuff. I see stuff that you would probably go to the crazy house if you saw that. I saw an inmate come in 5 minutes later being wheeled out in the ambulance with a pencil sticking out the side of his head. Like, there's so many things that I've seen. Like, so for me, I know from experience, being in PC means nothing. If he wants to get the message to her to keep instilling the fear in her that he was doing on the street, it's definitely possible. So, I mean, the survival of the fittest. So, yeah, being behind that wall is a whole nother thing, inmate or officer. You are in more danger than a police officer on the street when you're a correction officer. You got to think that you are locked in with these people the whole time that you're there. And a lot of times, depending on if you're transporting an inmate or not, you're not able to control anything. Everything is controlled from a control center. So just imagine you beefing with another officer and you in the elevator getting your behind whooped, and the officer is pretending like they don't see what's going on in the elevator because they turned their head like, oh, you know what, F her, I don't like her anyway. So go ahead, let her squabble up with this inmate in the elevator. So it doesn't mean nothing when you are in jail and people want to get to you, they will get to you by any means. So she's not lying.
Further, Kenny.
I said when he asks for me, I do it. If he tells me to call, I'm going to call.
It's not just that he answers for you. You can't call him directly. Isn't that true, ma'am?
No, I can't.
You have to coordinate and you have to make arrangements with some third party who is not in jail so that you can talk to him. Isn't that true?
Yes, and like I said, it goes back to me keeping him happy. I don't want to cause any issues while I'm sitting here. If he gets mad, if I don't call him, it's no telling what he's going to say. I'm the odd one out of this. They can all turn around and say, oh, it was Alicia, and I'm not getting in the middle of that. So I keep him happy while I'm here. If he wants me to call, if he wants to talk to me, let him know about the baby. He lets me know, I let him know I'm okay. That's what I do.
You call him 5 to 10 times a day in there.
Yes, when he says, call back, I call back.
You also do messages. There's a kiosk system where you can kiosk with him. Isn't that correct?
Yes, he texts me and I text him.
You have intimate conversations about your case, don't you?
Yes, when he asks, I let him know.
And he sends you messages which could be called sexting, right?
Yeah, he do. I keep him happy, like I said.
And you're no longer in a relationship with him, correct?
No, he thinks that.
And you call him multiple times a day, every day, for several months. Isn't that true?
Yes, like I said, I'm doing what I have to do. I'm not going to let him know. I'm not going to get on the phone and act like it's a change. I'm acting the same. I'm doing what I have to do.
Ma'am, you understand you're on trial for first-degree murder, right?
Yes, I do.
And it's for hanging out with him.
I do.
And you are still protecting him, right? To this day, you're protecting him.
I'm not protecting him.
You are still calling him and communicating with him, aren't you?
Yes, that's not protecting him, though.
So much so that you call his mother, right?
I do.
And you have been advised, and you report to his mother that you don't care that your attorneys tell you not to talk to him. You're going to do it anyway, right?
Yes, because I feel like that's the best way to do it.
Okay. So you are so desperate to talk to him and have communication with him, you don't even care if it may be hurtful to your case.
I wouldn't say desperate, because when I did disappear and listened, he texted me from another person and said, why are you not listening to me? Why are you not responding? When are you going to get into your big red forehead? And all these other things. So I started back talking to him.
So now again, you're talking to him because you're still afraid of him, right? Even though he is locked up for first-degree murder charges and cannot go near you.
I didn't say physically come to me. I'm talking about other people.
Yep.
You take advice from him, don't you?
I listen to it.
He discusses the case with you many, many times. Isn't that true?
Yes, because he knows I don't know, so he tries to make sure I know everything.
In fact, he tells you to kind of stay strong because the state thinks you're the weaker link. Has he told you that before?
Yes, he told me that.
Have you responded to him on, let's see. What's the date? Recently is June 27th of 2025. Did you tell them half the witnesses are dead, you're listening to Jacksonville, and they don't solve shit? I'm just lost because this is all pointless.
Said what?
Did you say to him, half of their witnesses are dead, you're listening to Jacksonville, and they don't solve shit? I'm just lost because this is all pointless.
Yes, I told him, and that's my opinion. I don't understand why I'm here. It's really about them.
So you're still talking about what you're charged with him.
Yeah, he's aware, so I can say that.
And he tries to tell you what you should do in your case, right? And he tries to tell you what is the plan about the Airbnb. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yeah, and I don't control him, so he talks about what he wants to talk about.
Don't you say in response to him telling you all that, you don't got to say all that. Don't walk me through those stops. You said that, right?
Yeah, I stop him when he talks about the case because I already kind of know that. So he tries to let me know, and I already know.
It's not because you've already discussed what you two are going to say that you're on some kind of vacation to Tampa.
No, we haven't.
That's not what you're referring
talked
to?
about that. No. He's talking about the girl in the Airbnb.
On July 5th, 2025, you didn't tell his mother that you made the defense attorney's investigator so mad because you told him you're not going to leave until you want to, and that they can't tell you who you can talk to, specifically referring to him. Isn't that true?
I was referring to other people too, but him too.
Because you are not going to give him up. Isn't that true?
Like I said, I'm doing what I think I should do to keep him happy.
And that is calling him hundreds of times, multiple times a day.
Yes, you don't see the other messages when he asks. He says, "Can you call? I need you to call. Are you okay? How are you? How's the baby?"
So at some point, when I say you guys are off and on, there are times where he doesn't want to talk to you. Isn't that true, ma'am?
At times.
And there are times that he blocks you, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, y'all.
And right before, let's talk about June 17th of 2024, right? This is
Yes.
within a couple of weeks of this happening, right?
I think a couple of days. Yeah.
June 17th, 2024, he blocked you. So you got to resort to a text now chat, right? That's not a normal means of texting on an iPhone, right? This is a special app.
Yeah, that's the app, but pertaining to him, I always text on text now when he blocks me.
Oh, wait. That's
So he's blocked you before, right?
Yes, whenever he's mad, he blocks
So sometimes he's ended communication and broken up with you, right?
me. Not broken up, he just goes off for a day or two.
And so what exactly, can you read to the jury what it is you texted this person that you're afraid of?
No. Oh, I said, "Bitch, you a sicko. Why you blocking me over a call? I didn't even initiate. Trying to act like you mad, and I make people comfortable."
You need to speak, I'm sorry, Ms. Andrews, the court reporter's got to take down what you're
My
saying,
bad.
so you got to speak real slow, okay?
I said, "Bitch, you a sicko. Why you blocking me over a call? I didn't even initiate. Trying to act like you mad, and I make people comfortable. I didn't do shit to make nobody feel comfortable. It was out the fucking blue. Why the fuck are you acting like it's my problem? You just wanted to have a reason to talk. I messed up when I was typing. To talk to other bitches you talk to, everybody you come across and you touch, you fuck them up. You're not even mentally there and stable in the head for a relationship. Even when I didn't do shit to your ass or start a conversation, you still fucking mad. The fuck." And then I said, "And you acting like I'm not pregnant. You gonna talk to me one day, so I don't give a fuck about your attitude." And I said, "Bye, bitch."
So this reconciliation that you're talking about, this is what he is trying to stop communication with you, right?
This is one of the things he do. So when you say stop communication, he just disappears for a day. He doesn't even really mean it. He's gonna pop up the next day and be like, "What you doing?"
So you weren't trying to make this jury think when you first testified that there was domestic violence in your relationship, and this reconciliation was you trying to get back with him and him trying to reconcile with you because of something he did, right?
Wait, can you repeat it?
Yes, I can. You're not trying to make this jury believe that he was the one trying to reconcile with you after he hit you or something, are you?
I don't know what you mean by that pertaining to the message. I'm just cursing him out.
No, I said when you guys get back together, I thought you told the defense attorney on your direct that this was some kind of reconciliation trip. You
It
guys
was.
trying to get back together, right?
It was after I sent that, he did eventually end up texting me, not on there, but he texted my phone and we're back cool. We always do that.
And why is his little brother coming on this reconciliation trip with you?
I mean, I don't know that. That's something you have to ask him. I didn't know he was even going.
But you know where you were going, right?
Yes, he invited me and I thought it was going to be us two.
And it wasn't, right?
Yep.
And you get to an Airbnb and you're only there for a day.
Yes.
And you go nowhere except for 3 clubs, is that correct?
Yeah, and McDonald's.
And again, not with him and Damian Murphy, right?
Yes.
So what exactly was planned for this trip where you two were going to get back together after fighting?
It wasn't necessarily get back together. It was just to spend time. I didn't have a
does
plan.
that
We get down here, go here, go here. If we go out, we go out. If we don't, I would be fine with that too.
So now
She
it's
does
not a
that
reconciliation trip.
No, we are getting back cool, but I'm saying it wasn't a big deal to go out nowhere. That was his decision.
You kind of just testified that he didn't spend any alone time with you that entire night, right?
He was up there, but eventually he would go his own way.
Okay. You said that he didn't go with you anywhere, and you did not go with him to when they first checked out teasers around 10. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was still in the bed at that time.
And you lied to law enforcement in that interview when you said it was just the two of you, right?
The two of us went because I mentioned Sean too.
You did, but that wasn't until later on in the conversation. When they first asked you about the Airbnb and the door, you specifically said, it's just me and him. Do you remember hearing that?
Yes, I did say that because I meant like when we first came in, it was just me and him.
So again, there was no planned story that if the two of you got caught, that it was just going to be you and him on a romantic getaway.
We never talked about caught. Nothing to get caught about because I didn't do anything.
So again, no conversation ahead of time if you were to get caught about what your story would be.
He never told me nothing about getting caught. When he got interrogated, he came back and told me that's what happened. And he said, you don't have to worry about that because we didn't do anything.
When did you have the conversation with him about his interrogation?
When it was the first time they searched his house.
Okay. Before you were interrogated by law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am.
So there was some discussion about what it is that law enforcement was going to be questioning you about in that interview, right?
He didn't mention the guy. He just said our trip out of town.
Okay, such a coincidence, right? He mentions the trip out of town, you still aren't suspicious, you have still no idea a murder happened, but after he's arrested for, not a homicide, just for what?
It was
resisting
arrest.
You guys are talking about the trip to Tampa.
I mean, not in detail. He just said the trip.
But he wasn't arrested in Tampa, was he? He was arrested in Jacksonville by Duval County Sheriff's officers. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yes, but I'm saying after they arrested him, he let me know what it was for.
For leaving the scene, right?
No.
So what? Oh, for resisting arrest. Nothing that had to do with the charges of Tampa, right?
No, they left a search warrant and it said the conspiracy thing on there and something else.
Jacksonville, Duval County left the conspiracy and murder charge up there for
I don't
him?
know if it was Jacksonville, but it was on one of the papers.
And so that's what led to a conversation of you all being down in Tampa. Is that correct?
Yeah, he just said it was about the trip to Tampa.
So when you testified to this jury that you had no idea why Tampa officers were pulling you in for that interview, you were lying up there on the stand?
That's not what I said. I mean, he didn't go in full detail about what they were coming to about Tampa. He just said the trip in Tampa.
You said you had no idea why these officers were pulling you into that interview room. Isn't that
And I
what you just
meant
testified
because when they
to?
came to my house, they were coming for resisting arrest, so I didn't know why Tampa was coming to talk to me.
But that's not what you just said, because you said after the
He did
resist
say
charge
that.
before your interview,
He just
you
well,
and
I
your
couldn't take
boyfriend,
this
Isaiah
prosecution.
Chance,
He
were
did
talking
say
about
that.
what happened in Tampa.
That was way before. I mean, like when he got arrested.
So let's talk about some more lies that you told law
She did.
enforcement. You said
That's not.
that
She
you
did
could
say
not
that.
remember
They told her that
how it was you got through the back door of the Airbnb,
You
right?
just kept it
You have any
to the
memory
fact.
issues?
No, not so.
Overruled, go ahead. I'm sorry, what was the answer?
Any
He said,
memory
no, I mean,
issues?
I'm not slow. What do you mean memory issues?
Well, they're talking to you within a couple of months of you coming to Tampa, right?
Yes.
You don't come to Tampa every day, right?
No.
And you were with your boyfriend at this Airbnb, correct?
Yes.
And you saw those videos of you at this front door. Can you take a look at the photo behind you?
And for
Yes.
the record, what are you showing her?
I'm showing her State's Exhibit 60. You recognize this Airbnb?
Yes.
And you saw the other video, State 61, where you are on the Ring camera, right?
Yes.
You're only on that Ring camera entering this front door 2 times, right?
Yeah, I think it was 2 times.
On June 22nd of 2023.
Yes.
And then you are not on that front door Ring camera at all, correct?
No.
And they don't just ask you about the front door. They ask you, you leave. You leave 2 times and come back, right?
Yes, I did.
You left and you went to the McDonald's with Davian Murphy and your boyfriend Isaiah Chance, right?
Yes.
And you didn't go out this front door and you didn't come back this front door, right?
Right.
Can you take a look at the video, ma'am? We're going to show you how it is you get to the back door of this Airbnb. This is the back door, right? This is how you would have to get in when you're going to the back door, right? You got to walk through this grass pathway. And then open this door, this gate, right? And then it takes you to the sliding glass doors, right?
Yes, ma'am.
They didn't just ask you about the front door. They asked you what door you got in when you came back from the McDonald's, right?
Yes, I did.
And you didn't tell them, if you have nothing to hide, and we're just talking about an Airbnb, you didn't just say, I went through the back door, right?
Yeah, I didn't say that.
You lied, right?
I don't think I answered it.
You said, I don't remember.
Yeah, and I probably was aggravated at the time, so.
But it's a lie, nonetheless, right?
Yeah.
Because certainly you're not going to make the jury believe that you going through some dark pathway in the middle of the night to leave and then get back is something that you're not going to remember, right?
I mean, not necessarily. It wasn't a big thing to remember that day.
Even though you're being questioned on a first-degree murder charge, you can't even tell them that you just left the back door to go to McDonald's?
Yeah, but I'm saying I didn't really remember that, so, and I was aggravated, so.
It's a lie. You lied to law enforcement knowing they're investigating a first-degree homicide.
Yeah, but he was just asking about a back door, so I didn't see any relevance.
So it's okay to lie to law enforcement if you don't think it's relevant, right?
No.
You have no clue what they're planning, right?
No.
You see the 2 spots here?
Yes.
They're open, right?
Yes, they are.
Where's the Impala?
It's parked on the side.
Where on the side?
In one of the other parking spots they had on the side.
Close to where that back door is, that side parking lot where the back door is?
I don't remember if it was close. I think it was like in the middle.
They had some bags, right? You have a bag right there.
Yeah, my dad.
So when all of those bags and stuff are unloaded, except for yours, they have to go through that back pathway to load all of those heavy guns, right?
I mean, I can't answer that. I didn't see them carried in there.
And you didn't see Damian Murphy in there either, did you?
Not when I first got there, no.
But eventually you did see him, right?
Yes, later on.
States Exhibit 38A. So again, you saw him at the Airbnb.
Yes.
He's staying at the Airbnb.
I mean, if you consider that staying.
You lied to law enforcement about there being any other individual at that Airbnb other than you, Isaiah Chance, and his little brother, right?
Yeah, I didn't answer anything about the other people.
So that's a lie, right, ma'am? You lied to them about Damian Murphy, a member of 1200, or an associate of 1200, being at that Airbnb.
Yeah, I didn't want to answer anything about them, so I didn't answer.
Also, not relevant, right?
I mean, I wouldn't know, so.
36A. You don't know who this is, right?
At the time I didn't, but I do now.
You rode in a car with him for 3.5 hours, right?
Yes, I also went to sleep. I didn't really look at him like that.
You have been to his house for a barbecue. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yes.
He was introduced to you by your boyfriend of over 3 years of his second family, right?
Yeah.
He introduced you to all of his family members, right?
I didn't say all the family members.
You said he introduced you at that barbecue and said, this is my second family, right?
Yes, but I don't know if that's his real family members.
So you're suggesting to this jury that when you are being introduced by your boyfriend to his second family that he posed some fake people next to him?
I'm saying I don't know if he was talking about everybody that was standing there. He could have been talking about particular people.
But certainly Sean Gathright was there, right?
Yes, ma'am, he was there.
And he's one of the people he's saying, this is my second family, right?
No, he said little brother to him.
Part of his family. And then the rest of the people was his second family, right?
Yeah, he considered them second family.
And you care about Isaiah Chance?
I did.
And you would have us believe that after he introduced you to his little brother, his second family, you went off in some second room and never looked at his face?
I didn't go off to the second room. I just got a plate and went back to the car.
You hid in the car, right?
Yeah, I don't really talk much, so I got back in the car.
Oh, so you never had a conversation with him?
No, I just said I came by.
And you can't tell that this person in 36A is the same person in 36B?
I mean, at the time, it didn't really look like him. I just glanced at the picture. I said no.
And in the entire 3.5 car ride, you never looked at his face either?
I'm not staring him down, so I mean, no.
And at the entire time that you're at the Airbnb with him, you never looked at his face or had one conversation with him?
I didn't have a conversation with him, but I maybe glanced.
You were walking next to Isaiah Chance at Teasers. You were walking next to him at that parking lot when he was at Truth 18. I'm not going to play the videos again. You saw that. You guys were walking right next to him.
If you consider that right next to him, yes.
Some points you were a little behind him, is that correct?
Yes.
And some points you were right next to him, isn't that correct?
Yes.
And there were points when he has that phone, your phone, up to his ear.
Yeah, certain points.
And at one point, when he has it up to his ear, he has to give it to you so you can do what?
Put the code in. That was at the first club.
And that's right, put the call in, right? There is a call that is happening. And
I said the code.
The code. But there is a call happening. He's actually on the phone, right?
At the first club, he attempts to make a call, yeah.
Attempts, right? It's literally up to his ear.
Yeah, I don't think he went through.
Oh, because you're right next to him, you would know, right?
No, I mean, he didn't say anything, so that's why I said I don't think he went through.
And at some point, he hands it to you so you can do what?
I mean, I didn't put the code back in after that.
Just the one time?
Yes.
It didn't go off any other time that you were with him from the entire time to Teasers, to Truth 18?
I mean, later on, I think, yeah. At the next club, yeah.
What about in the car?
No, when the car was still on.
And you never heard him utter one word on that phone while you were next to him in the parking lot at Teasers?
Teasers just the first club, right?
Yes, ma'am.
No, he didn't say anything.
And he never said one thing the entire time when you guys are sitting in that parking lot at Teasers at the same point when Charles Jones is there.
He said something, but he didn't say anything about him.
What did he say?
He just was saying how all the people were just standing there, standing around.
He had never had one phone call?
I mean, he tried to call. I don't know. Again, I don't know if he went through.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit number 94C1. You see this when he's on the phone actually sharing a live location with Sean Gathright that's occurring at 2 a.m. You see that?
Yes, ma'am.
He does that multiple times. So he has your phone a lot in that car, right?
Yes.
And so anytime there's inactivity on the phone, you got to do what for him?
Unlock it, but he never locked it up. If he didn't respond, he just went and got on something else.
He doesn't lock the phone, right? That's something that happens automatically based on time, right?
Yes.
When that phone locks up in the parking lot, it's not because he locked it. It's because there's a timing mechanism on your iPhone that makes it go dark, right?
I mean, yeah, but the first time he got the car, it's my phone. He stops me and asks for it, so it's not unlocked when he asks for it.
And then at some point, he starts texting NIGGA, pick up the FNO. He says that. He doesn't text it just once at 2:31. He sends this text again at 2:31 and 24 seconds. So he wants somebody to pick up that effing phone. Are you claiming when he's texting that, he's not saying anything to you?
No, not like that.
Do you see him desperately going like this?
No, not like you rushing. You just really typing.
He just casually texts,
Yes.
pick up the effing phone, twice.
Yeah.
And that was something that if he had done it very erratically, you would have noticed, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't.
That might have tipped you off that something pretty important was happening, right?
I mean, if you say so.
So he's just casually typing that in, and then he's sharing the location again later, 2 hours later. But after this exchange, he never gets a phone call. There's no conversation in that car.
I don't remember having a conversation there.
But he's not sending one other text after he desperately texts that twice, right?
I don't think he did.
It don't lock.
You don't think, or you're not willing to tell us?
I don't really remember what he
And
did.
another thing she's saying about the iPhone,
And you don't remember
she
or
is definitely
him hearing
wrong
him have
about.
any conversation in that car.
Not right there, no.
Another thing that this detective lies about is the fact that she, in order for her to get an iPhone, if she uses Face ID, she has to continually put her face in front of the phone. Even if you're using Face ID, say the phone does not recognize your face, you also have a PIN number that you can enter. So I think this is what I'm saying about the misleading the jury about small things. And some of them have an iPhone, and they know that if you use Face ID, that's not the only way that you can unlock a phone. I'm just saying, like, these little things, when the jury is when they are deliberating, they will talk about these things amongst each other. And I can almost tell you they have a tally of the many lies and stuff that that's being presented by the prosecution. That's why they didn't get red rum 1 or red rum 2. And sometimes a prosecutor can actually turn off a jury, and the jury is just going to say, you know what? They lied about so much, she's not guilty. Because I can't be, I don't know when they're telling the truth. So it works both ways. They can lie in an interrogation room, but they cannot get in court and lie. And that's the thing, regardless to how you feel about her, regardless to how you feel about, I'm just, a jury is not going to take kindly to that. And this is why I'm having an issue, is because I'm sitting here listening to the lies, and some of the stuff that Alicia is saying is corroborated on video. And so the fact that they're lying about these small, minute things, I'm going to be inclined to say they're lying about most of this when it comes to Alicia, not everybody else. I'm just saying that's just the way, stuff works.
You remember Detective Ramos when he was sitting next to you and he was kind of acting out what he thought happened after he saw the video footage and some of the messaging that he's right next to you in that car, and he's saying he's sitting this close to you, right? He's in the driver's seat, right?
Yes.
And you are in the passenger seat, right?
Yeah.
Remember that exchange? And he kind of imitates and acts out, hey, get here, get here. He's going into the club now. You better get here now. That you're claiming something like that never happened.
No, I told you what he said. Only time he said something was when he flipped the camera and said it was packed and where y'all at.
Do you also remember? Oh, so now they said where you're all at, right?
I'm talking about when he took the picture on the screenshot. That's what I said he said.
Okay. Did you know who he was talking to?
I mean, no, but I assumed it was his friends.
Do you remember when law enforcement specifically asked you about the black Chevy Impala?
Yes, ma'am.
That black Chevy Impala happened to be at the Home to Suites, correct?
I mean, yeah, but at the time I didn't know that.
You didn't see the black Chevy Impala when your boyfriend was circling around the parking lot not once but twice?
No, I didn't see that car.
That was a car that you had ridden down to Jacksonville with Sean Gathright, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't recognize that car in the parking lot?
I mean, I'm not going to know if it was them, though. I don't know if it's them.
So just a coincidence that you happened to be at Home to Suites, right?
I mean, I'm not driving, so I can't tell you why he went there.
You got out of the vehicle with Isaiah Chance at both of those clubs, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said on your direct examination that you went up to the bouncers, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lie, right?
I wasn't referring to those clubs. I was referring to Players Club.
The detectives never mentioned the Players Club to you in that interview, right?
No, he showed me a video of a parking lot, so I just assumed it was that club.
He showed you the video of the two of you walking out of that club, correct?
No, he showed me a parking lot, the first video when I said that.
He also showed you Julio Foolio, is that correct?
He didn't.
At the front door.
I believe he did.
And they specifically asked you at Teasers and at Truth 18, the two clubs that you went to, whether or not you had talked to the bouncers, right?
I think he did ask me.
And you said that you had spoken to them at both and that the price was too high, correct?
Again, I was talking about Players Club. I had the clubs mixed up at the time. I didn't know the names. And I didn't say specifically that. I said I talked to the bouncer, the guys that be at the front door.
And there's no video footage at Players Club, right?
No.
knows.
I said no.
You know that there's no video footage at Players, right?
I mean, if he would have investigated it, he would have found it probably.
And there is video footage at Teasers and Truth 18, correct?
Yeah, because that's all the detective went to look for.
And you admit that you never went to any of the bouncers at Truth.
Alicia got a point. See, that's what I was talking about. Y'all got all this footage from everywhere else. And they can't say that there was no footage. The detective said he did not attempt to get any footage from the Players Club. He did not attempt to get any footage from the Players Club because regardless as to whatever the case, the prosecution has a theory. They want to stick to their theory. Adding the Players Club in the video from the Players Club goes against their narrative, and he never went to see if there was footage outside of the Players Club. And I believe that if it was, her attorney does not have to enter evidence because it is the prosecution that has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she is guilty. So he's not going to do their work for them either. But you were able to get all of this other footage, but you didn't get the footage from that club. And they never did. Like, they might have went and got the footage and just did not enter it into evidence. So, yeah, that's what it's the small things that make you think like, if they did this and why you didn't do this? So this prosecutor is up here using this now because we know the lead detective was already on the stand. So hopefully the jurors don't remember. This lead detective said he never went to the Players Club to see if there was video. It's a big game. They should have just stuck to the facts. If they wanted at least a second, conviction for second degree, at least they should have just stuck to the facts and not tried to muddy the waters because this girl is not cracking.
18, right?
No, again, when I bring up the bouncers, I was referring to Players Club.
So you and your boyfriend on your reconciliation trip just went to walk in the parking lot of Teasers, right?
Teasers is the first club?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all you did, right? You just walked in the parking lot. You didn't even come close to the front door.
I mean, yeah, we were standing there, but it's his decision. He didn't want to go in there, so.
And you have no say in the matter on your reconciliation trip, whether or not you actually get to go into the club?
I mean, I didn't have an issue with it. If he didn't want to go, he didn't want to go.
So you're just happy on this trip to get back together with just walking in the parking lot?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, then you go to the second club, Truth 18. That's the club with the second story on the second floor.
Yes, ma'am.
And that same thing happens. You just walk in the parking lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm following him.
Yeah. You don't even really walk up to the door. And it's at the same point when Charles Jones is at that location.
I mean, I didn't know he was there, so.
But you're okay just walking in the parking lot, right?
No, actually, I was irritated. I didn't really care to go in that one. He chose the last club. After he took me to 2 locations, we didn't go anywhere. At that point, I am aggravated, so.
Well, you said they didn't go in because it was packed, right?
That's what he said.
Well, there was, at the time when you're walking on that video, there aren't tons of people in that parking lot, right?
It was. Those people parked on the side as well.
You don't even walk up those stairs to see how many people are inside, right?
We went by how many cars are outside.
Oh, so that's the definition of how a car is, or how a club is packed, by the cars, right?
I mean, to young people, yeah.
You said the next morning that that Isaiah Chance, the one time he did come in, it was to what? So you could look at his outfit, give an outfit check?
Yeah, he was showing me various outfits laying on the bed. He said she could put back on what he had on because he had taken the pictures. And that's what we were talking about.
Because he cares how he looks like, right?
Sometimes.
He got into a war with Julio Foolio online because Julio was making fun of him wearing fake designer clothes, right?
I didn't know that.
You had no idea about that?
No.
But he is doing an outfit check with you because he's concerned about it, right?
I mean, not really. He just saying, what do you think I should wear? Like a regular person.
And the two of you, you said you're going clubbing, right?
I mean, supposed to be.
Right. And how do you normally dress up when you go clubbing?
I mean, this will be our second time going clubbing, so he wears whatever he wants to wear. When I go, I just wear whatever I want to wear.
You just kind of said that he's very controlling about what you wear on your direct examination.
Yeah, at times.
And as a young woman, when you go clubbing, you get dressed up, right?
Yeah.
In fact, on your phone, you had hundreds of photographs on your phone and videos of yourself, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Times when you went out with friends, times when you were with girls, and just times when you were having photographs done, right?
Yeah.
And on the day that you two are going clubbing, because that's the purpose, right? Going clubbing, right? Going out and having fun.
I mean, that was kind of last minute, so yeah.
Did you see what he was wearing? He was wearing, it was June in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
He was wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt with the hoodie all the way pulled up and a COVID mask
Okay.
to go clubbing.
Yeah, he don't really go out, so I don't know what he would typically wear.
And you were wearing what?
I put on a jean jacket. I think I had on the blue pants and a regular shirt.
Is that how you normally go when you're going out for a night on the town to go clubbing?
I mean, no. Eventually, when I first arrived, I had a dress on. But once I realized other people were there, I took that off. So what you see me wearing is what I had on to McDonald's. And we stayed in the car, so I didn't go change. So, I mean, I just kept what I had on.
Because when you go clubbing, you normally look like 75 C9, right? You like to get dressed up, wear a nice dress, right?
Correction, I'm not clubbing in that. I'm out of town with my family.
Okay. And where are you going when you go out of town with your family?
Nowhere, I just put that on to take a picture.
Okay. But there are literally photo after photo, Instagram video after Instagram video of you going out with your friends, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're not dressed in a jean jacket, and what, were they sweatpants or?
No, that is regular pants.
And when law enforcement asked you about Gutta, and I think the defense attorney played that for you, again, you specifically asked them, why are they calling him that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said that you are just surprised because they're law enforcement and you feel that they should be talking about his real name or mentioning him by his real name, right?
I mean, I didn't mean it like that. I'm saying I would have thought they would have came in a different way. If we started an interview and you just say, oh, Gutta, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm just confused.
But you didn't say what. You said, why do you call him that, right?
Yeah, that was my response. I'm saying in my head, I'm thinking, like, why are two detectives coming to me saying a nickname? Like, what is this about?
And then they laughed, and then they said, do you or you don't call him Gutta? And you shook your head no, right?
No, I don't call him that.
And it wasn't just you shaking your head no. You said, that's not a thing, right?
I mean, it's not a thing for me to call him that. That's what I meant.
But you just said, that's not a thing.
I said it's not a thing, but something.
I'm going to show you state's exhibit number. And Gutta, that's his rap name. That's the name that he uses for the gang, right? For those drill rap videos he makes. Gutta,
I
Gutta
wouldn't
Man.
necessarily say a real name. It's just a nickname on Instagram.
But it's something you know, and you do call him that, don't you?
No, I don't call him that.
You just have it tattooed on your body, right? You have it tattooed down the middle of your chest. Gutta, right?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And that's not the only place. I'm also going to show you State's Exhibit 75G. It's there. It's a long tattoo, and it goes all the way down your chest, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're familiar that he calls himself Gutta.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that you have that tattoo on your body, you have never referred to him as Gutta?
No, I still call him by his name.
That's not the only place on your body that you have that Gutta tattoo, is it?
No, I have another one behind my ear.
I'm going to show you State 75C11. That's it right there. So
Yes.
not once, twice.
Yes, ma'am.
Referencing Isaiah Chance.
Yeah.
Someone who you're no longer in a relationship, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it wasn't a lie to law enforcement when you said that you don't call him that.
No, it wasn't a lie.
Let me have one moment? Yes. At the time when that photo, you said your Isaiah Chance took that photo in the parking lot of Truth 18?
Yes, ma'am.
That is, at that timing, that is when Charles Jones and his party are still up on that second floor. And you're saying you never saw that?
No, I didn't look up there.
Where are you looking at?
I mean, at him.
And you're looking at him taking the photo?
I don't think I was.
What?
I don't think I was. I seen the picture after, but it was in my phone.
Are you looking at him when the photo was taken, or are you not looking at him?
I don't think I was.
So what are you looking at?
I think I was looking at him.
At
Not
ti-
like physically like what he's doing. I'm just sitting there just staring.
You're not looking at the club that you're supposed to be going to?
I can't remember if I was or not.
Okay. Well, you said that you can tell if a club is packed based on the cars in the parking lot, right?
Yeah, but we were parked on the other side. It was more cars.
Right, because there were parking spots available in Truth 18, right?
I don't remember that.
You could have driven through the parking lot and not even got out of the car if you could tell a club is packed just on the parking spots, right?
I mean, that's not my decision. Again, he's driving. So.
No. You said how young people determine whether or not a car or a club is packed is by the parking lot, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Both at Truth 18 and Teasers, there were cars in that parking lot. You didn't need to get out of the car to go up to the door to know that Teasers was packed, right?
Yeah, it was. But again, it's not my issue with the bad places this is.
Well, the issue is you keep on giving us another reason why it is that you're in that parking lot. You understand that, ma'am?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just following him.
No, you said that you believe that you didn't go in because it's packed, right?
Yes, because that's what he said.
And you don't have to go into the club itself to know it's packed because of the parked cars in the parking lot, right, ma'am?
That's what I said. I don't know what he's thinking, though.
When you are at Teasers, you guys have to go around more than once to park because you can't find a parking spot, right?
Yeah, and then we see somebody coming out, so he just waited.
So it didn't matter that it's so packed you gotta wait for a parking spot to open up?
Well, we did get out, but, I mean, all the people in the front, that's when he decided he didn't want to go in.
So it's not the parked cars in the parking lot that tells you if the club is packed?
It is, but I'm saying once you seen all the people up there and nobody was going in, he changed his mind.
Judge, I don't have anything further.
Okay, redirect.
Oh, redirect.
Ms. Andrews, you want to answer any more questions?
I can't.
I'll ask you one more question. There's a tattoo that's missing that hasn't been described on your arm here. What does that tattoo say?
Psalms 46, God is within her, she will not fail.
I'm going to sustain the objection.
No
And is there
further
another motion? Granted, stricken from the record. Jury's not to consider it. Okay, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, just step out momentarily. Okay, we'll be right with you.
All right.
So that is the cross of Alicia. I just want to say that she needs to give a master class in how to handle a prosecutor properly. Because, baby, she gave them a run for their money. She gave her a run. This prosecutor is going to have nightmares for a long time behind this cross, because it doesn't make a difference how many times she tried to put words in her mouth. She was unsuccessful. So there is that. I haven't missed that on live, but I'm glad that, we were able to go through that. And so we've been here a while. I'm going to ask that if you are here, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video out. Once the video is ended, you can hype the video. It's another free way to support the show so that the video gets out into the algorithm. And I'm going to leave you, as I always do, by bringing awareness that men get breast cancer too. Because of the stigma surrounding the word breast, we've changed the word to peck and or chest cancer here on the Survivor Speaks channel. So let's continue to bring awareness that men get breast cancer too. And to all of my ladies, please make sure you're getting your mammograms, filling on your boobies to make sure that you are all right. All right. And don't you deal like anyone coming to your house and just disturb the peace that passes all understanding. I'm Survivor Speaks. I'll see you guys in the next video premiere or live stream. Be safe out there. Peace.
If you have made it to the end of the video, you are the real MVP. So don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.